Guys, I'm in a Porsche 911 997.1 Turbo, and in this video I'm going to explain to you how you could win this very car. Yep, fancy winning a 911? Stay tuned. Oh, it's bloody fast as well. Hey guys, and welcome to Petrol Ped. Now then, in 2020 I came to this location, stood at this very spot and filmed with an Aston Martin GT12 and an Aston Martin DBS Superleggera. I returned a few weeks later and filmed with an Alfa Romeo Stelvio Quadrifoglio by Deranged. I filmed with a really cool manual Vantage. And the guy who owns all of those cars, David, became a very good friend. And since then, I've been on drive tours with him and on events, and I've watched the progress of what's happening at this site. And finally, I'm getting involved, because originally when I first came here, David's business was based in a building just there. That business doesn't exist anymore, but what's replaced it is something so exciting, so full of things to point a camera at. And I want you guys to join me on the journey with Zeros Supercars, one of my new channel partners. I've got so many things to talk to you about in this video. Oh, and by the way, yes, you can really win that 911. So welcome to Zeros Supercars, which is just outside of Bath. Now, I've been watching what David's been doing here for the last couple of years, and I am so excited to finally be getting involved, because this year is going to be amazing. There's some incredible things happening, which I'll tell you about very shortly. But first off, what is Zeros? Well, it's a supercar barn. It's a car storage facility, but with a difference. Normally, with car storage, all the cars are undercover. It's very secretive. You're not allowed cameras in there. Not here. They've all got no covers on whatsoever. You can look at them. You can sit in the American diner and have some food, grab a coffee, look at the cars, look around all the details. All the cars have a little plaque on the windscreen telling you all about them. There's some amazing machines in here. So first up, let's take a look around what's parked in this barn. Told you some incredible cars there, and we're going to be able to experience some of those this year. But this is the American Diner. Now, it's closed today, obviously, but if you want a destination to drive to, have some nice food, a coffee, look at some cool cars, this is the place. From my house to here is the most incredible bit of driving over Salisbury Plain. There's some beautiful roads around here. So yes, lovely food at the American Diner, but what else is happening at Zeros this year? There's a lot going on. So it's a bit of a building site out here, but this is the bit that excites me. In there is going to be a wash bay and a 3-vehicle car detailing facility. This big barn here is another 100 cars car storage facility plus offices. Then in here is going to be a pizzeria, and on top is going to be a rooftop terrace. But let's head inside, because I think we'll get a better view. Now, this is a great event space as well. Up here is a fully licensed bar. You can have a drink and look over all of the cars, which is very cool. But even this is changing and going next level. So this bar is going to be extended out through this wall, and that is going to be a rooftop terrace where you can enjoy pizza, you can enjoy the beautiful views, and we're going to see all of that develop this year. And I cannot wait for that. But there's one more thing happening on this site, which is completely bonkers, and it's got something to do with that car just there, the one with the funky wrap. So at the moment, this barn is just a big empty building on site being used to store some cars, but later this year this barn will be developed into Super Vettura Koenigsegg, a Koenigsegg dealership, and we're going to be able to watch the progress of the build and the opening, and it's going to be so exciting. And I know Koenigsegg is such an aspirational thing, unreachable by us mere mortals, but to be given the access that we're going to get to the cars, the people, the technology, to get to drive the cars out on the road, we may well even have a Koenigsegg drive tour later this year, which we will be able to go along and be a part of. And that is the kind of thing I want to share with you. But there's some other cool stuff. Let's go back to the barn and discuss other things that's going to hit the channel much, much sooner. So what are my plans? Well, one of the reasons I'm keen to work with David and 5 Zeros is this year I want to change the focus of the channel a little bit. I'm still going to do new cars to market, but so many of those are now all EV platforms, and I'm just getting lots of feedback that they're not necessarily the cars that many of you are wanting to watch reviews on. And therefore, I want to try and do some things that you do want to watch reviews on, and there are plenty of cars in here that tick that box, including that. This is an Alfa Romeo 8C Competizione, one of the best sounding cars ever made. And yes, the owner has said I can drive it. So that will be coming to the channel very, very soon. As will this, an original 1957 356 Porsche Speedster. Just look at it, absolutely beautiful. I will be embracing my inner Top Gun. This place is not good for me, people. 911 992 Sport Classic, 600 LT McLaren, one of my favorite supercars ever made. But this is a Koenigsegg Agera N, and yes, this will be featuring on the channel, unbelievably enough, along with a couple of David's cars. So he's got a beautiful F8 Tributo and the new Vantage V12, which will both be featuring on the channel, along with a few things I don't want to mention yet. I'm keeping my powder dry. But over there is a car that you guys can actually win. So, fancy winning a 911 Turbo? Well, it's dead easy. So 5 Zeros run a membership program. So if you like, for local people, although local for me is anywhere within maybe an hour to an hour and a half's drive, because you drive here and have some food in the diner, they do a monthly membership at £8.49, and they run an app, and that gives you a whole bunch of member benefits in the app. You get discounts in the diner, discounts in the shop. So if you're going to come along here regularly, then that's a really cool thing to do. And then they have a supercar membership, and that's $14.99 a month, and that opens up things like supercar drive tours, test days that they do with local supercar dealerships. So if you have got a really nice car and you want to join them on drive tours, that's the membership for you. So if you were to click on the link in the pinned comment and video description and go through to the membership page and sign up for membership, for every month you are a member, you get a ticket for the prize draw of this car, and this car is being drawn at Easter. And they do prize draws, a big one every year. This year it's a 911 Turbo, but they also do prize draws every month. And in those you can win things like, you might well see some Paul Oz artwork all the way around. So they do Paul Oz artwork or tickets to some of their events, because this is a really cool event space. And that's one of the things we're also going to be doing, because they've got a big screen at the end. When the Formula One races are on, they move some of the cars out and put big tables in, and you have tables and enjoy a meal and some beers while you're watching the Formula One. They're licensed for wedding ceremonies. They do all kinds of auctions. Very, very cool space. Those are the things that we're going to be coming along to this year, and I've got the ability to get some of you to join me on those events as well. Anyway, shall we talk about this lovely 911 Turbo? I think you'll agree, as prizes go in a prize draw, this is a pretty good one. So this is a 997.1 Turbo. It's a manual. It has a 6-speed manual gearbox. It has 480 horsepower. It'll do 0 to 60 in just 4 seconds. And this roof only takes 20 seconds to drop, and you can do that up to 30 miles an hour. And I think the 997 is just growing into such a future classic, just from a size footprint. If you compare this with a 992 Turbo, of which there's one literally just over there, It's such a dinky, tiny car. But yeah, this could be yours. You could win a 911 Turbo. I'm a bit gutted I'm working with 5 Zeros actually, because what that means is I can't actually enter the prize draw to win this car, because I really want to buy a 911 this year, and the 911 I buy is going to have a convertible roof, so this would be perfect. So let's jump inside, and then we're going to take it up the road for a spin. Oh man, I love it in here. It's so clean and analog compared with the modern day Porsche. The steering wheel is so uncluttered. There's a couple of buttons on here. You've got the iconic 5 dials that you find in a 911 with white dial faces. This center console here is just brilliant. There's even a keypad here, because you could put, back in the day, you put a SIM card in the car and that center console becomes your phone. None of this Apple CarPlay rubbish. You've got cruise control, and you've got a 6-speed manual gearbox with a lovely short throw to it. This thing is amazing. And what's even more amazing is it's only done 7,600 miles. It's box fresh, it's barely run in. Well, I reckon we should go and put a few more miles on it, don't you? Okay. Let's take this baby out for a spin. First thing actually, especially if you compare it with new Porsches, I love the old school key. It's so wicked. But yeah, very, very analog. Put some lights on. Manual gearbox. Let's go and take this turbo out for a drive. Now, interestingly, I've driven a 996 turbo, a 991 turbo, and a 992 turbo, but never the 997. And actually, I think this is the first 997 Porsche I've driven. And apparently, they're meant to be mega. So, the cool thing about 5 Zeros, they've got plenty of parking, and they are surrounded by some really lovely roads. Now, the weather isn't really playing ball today, I'm afraid, because it started off nice and sunny, but by the time we got round to doing the driving parts of the review, it's actually raining a little bit. So let's just step into this car and get our heads around it. I'm still trying to get my head around the fact that one of you lot could actually win this car and be driving it. And straight away, off the bat, this car feels new and fresh. It doesn't feel like an old classic. I have to say, I've driven a 996, a couple of different types of 996, GT3, Turbo, GT2. And for me, they just felt a little bit dated and a little bit, I don't know, older and maybe not as modern. This straight away, within the first mile, feels brilliant. The steering, but it's got a little bit of turbo lag on it. Just if you just drop it back down into 4th, and now, wow, this car's rapid, man. Oh dear. So yeah, as I said, what I love about it is the old school feel. Very much this kind of center console, and I know with it being white, and you've got a lot of white trim on the sides of the seats, and the white on the dash might be a little bit too much for some, but I think it looks cool. I really wanted to have the roof down for this part of the review, but unfortunately the weather gods aren't on our side, so we're going top up. So yeah, just member benefits, I've mentioned them already, so don't feel like you need to own a supercar to be involved with 5 Zeros. You really don't. You can just turn up and enjoy the diner, food's great, and enjoy looking at cars and so on. If you do have a sports car or supercar, you can go for the membership, the supercar membership, and they do some drive outs, they do first drive events with local supercar dealers, they have specific events for members every month, and you can really get involved with the community. So the 2 different types of membership are great ways for you to get involved with 5 Zeros, but what I really want to try and do is get you involved through me as well. So I'm going to be doing a number of different events and so on. I'm going to pretty much be here once a month. I'm going to drive a car once a month to share with you on the channel, and I'm pretty sure that none of those are going to be electric cars, which I'm sure many of you will be happy about. And then the different events that they do, Formula One events, and they do a whole load of stuff with Bath Rugby. They do some drive tours. I'm hoping to get involved in all of those things too. Whew, tell you what, the heater works. It's really warm in here. Now, I've just noticed I'm going to put it into sport mode. That's firmed up the dampers because I've got the PASM suspension. I'm actually going to turn that off because the ride's pretty firm anyway, but I'm now in sport mode. Not that I felt like I needed to be in sport mode anyway, because this car feels pretty rapid, to be fair. Okay. What am I in there? In second gear, let's go. Oh, hello. Bit heck. 480 horsepower. This car is rapid. It's rapid by today's standards of cars. And I guess that's the turbo trick, right? Every time you get in a 911 turbo, the new one comes out and it's faster than the old one. And we very rapidly forget just how fast the old one was. And it's safe to say the 997 turbo is a fast car. This car's also got ceramics on it, so it's got a good set of anchors, which is just what you want. Had to go with the roof down, really. And it's not raining yet, but I had to experience this car with the roof down. And let's put the windows up. Less bluster that way. Wow. Oh, that sounds wicked. I had to have a drive with the roof down, right? There's no way I can drive a cabriolet without the roof down. Sadly, I hadn't thought about it too much, so I haven't got a wind muffler with me, so apologies for any bluster on the mic. This is the perfect car for me. It's got 2 seats in the back for the puppies. Nice big front up front for going away with Mrs. Petrol Ped. This is the dream car. Now, interestingly, keep tuned to the channel this year, because I need to change my Boxster this year, and all I'll say is it's not going to be replaced with a Boxster. Oh no. This year I am going to finally scratch my 911 itch. Got to. Absolutely got to. And the 911 that I choose ain't going to have a roof. Much as I would love a GT3, much as everyone says, oh, the coupes are better, I just love soft top motoring. I love doing this. I love having an infinite sunroof. And this car does that for me in spades. But I have to say though, this 997 turbo, bloody hell, it's fast. I mean, I wasn't sure. Having driven a modern day turbo, they're almost too much really. And you follow on them on a drive tour and they're ballistic things. But this, I mean, since when was 480 horsepower not enough? I mean, bearing in mind, just to put it into context, I'm looking at a 992 Carrera S, and they've got 444 horsepower. So not a lot less than this, only 40 horsepower less than this, and that's the S. This is a turbo. This sounds great, and when you lift off, it's got lift off. So yes, this car could be yours. I know I keep banging on about that, but I still can't quite get my head around the fact that they're giving away a 911 turbo. And whoever wins it is going to be so lucky. You'd be doing that all day. Now this is the road that goes back home towards my house. It's quite dangerous driving down here because I'll just keep going and not take the car back. I think they might notice though. So let's head back to 5 Zeros and finish this video. So I hope you agree that 5 Zeros is a fantastic new channel partner for us to have so much scope for doing cool things together this year. I really want to get as many of you involved as possible. The plan is to take some tables when they're doing events, run competitions that you can enter and win and come along and experience those events with me. I'm going to do a couple of meet and greets here this year. We're going to do drive outs together and hopefully going to be able to share some of the cars below to really dive into the stories of these incredible cars behind me. And I hope you're going to find that really interesting. If you've got suggestions for content that you'd like me to create here, behind the scenes stuff, things you'd like to find out about, any particular cars down there that you would like me to feature on the channel, anything you would like to do as a group, put it in the comments below and I'll see what I can do. But for now, I hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Comments below are always welcome. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to Petrol Ped for plenty more content to come. Don't forget to click the link in the video description or pinned comment. And if you join 5 Zeros for every month you're a member, you'll get a ticket to win that 911 turbo over there, which is pretty cool. And I'll be there at the day when that's drawn. So hopefully one of you lot will win it. Anyway, you take care guys. Drive safe.